It is Matt Mosley, the Matt Mosley Show, and we're up and running. And we got lawsuits flying. We have huge World Cup action from the other night. We were doing our live show in Waco at the Dancing Bear Pub. We had a really good time. And then late that night, the United States men's team played one of its best games ever. It was, and I know it was Paraguay, and maybe they're not the greatest team in the world, but they're also not that bad. And the U.S. men's team made them look bad. And in that first half, especially, just an onslaught. And and then even late when I guess that was Reyna who scored off the side of his foot. I mean, that was the passing, even starting from the back was unreal. And so it's enough to I don't pretend to be a huge soccer aficionado, but I did watch it and found it very entertaining. And the U.S. played great. Everybody seems to be excited, and we'll see what the U.S. can do as they get ready to play Australia in the group round, the next game on Friday. And so we'll have another Friday ball game, and there'll be a lot of excitement around that. We've also got the College World Series. Z-Man with me today, filling in for Kevin. Kevin, I was hoping he was taking a vacation or something, but I think it involves like his other business or something. It's very strange. The man traveling around the countryside, delivering animals or something. I don't know exactly what to make of it. But anyway, we'll miss him. But it's always great to have the Z-Man, and he's doing his thing. And you guys know Zach Burke. You know him well. We'll get him involved when we get into some of the college talk, and we'll do some Campus Confidential. There's just so many places to start. I think we should start, though, with the breaking news. And this is what our Twitter audience – in fact, Z-Man, send me that link, if you don't mind, to our live YouTube so I can throw that up here in a minute, because I do want to be able to reach out to our people directly. We have a lot of people who watch us on Twitter Live, the Twitter Premium or X Premium. And I want to encourage all of you who have jumped on with us to go over and subscribe on the YouTube page. That way you can chime in, let us hear from you, all those kinds of things. So we got a lot to react to. The Big 12, though, this is really getting interesting. The Big 12, let me put my glasses on for this. The Big 12 is filing they have made it clear they don't want to be pushed around in court. And I first saw this from Ross Dellinger. I want to give him the credit. He had this first, and then Pete Thamel had it right after that on ESPN. I'm reading from the ESPN story right now. The Big 12 has filed a federal lawsuit Monday in the Northern District of Texas, seeking both a declaratory judgment and injunctive relief to allow the league the authority to use its bylaws to potentially punish Sorsby. Very interesting. This comes in federal lawsuit. The Big 12 is filing. The filing seeks a declaratory judgment that the First Amendment protects the conference's right to invoke its authority under its bylaws to sanction Tech related to its handling of the sport betting activity discussed in this complaint, including if Texas Tech fields a student athlete in Big 12 competition who has engaged in collegiate sports betting activity. This move, by the way, is a legal counter to a letter from the Texas Attorney General last week, which warned that any sanctions imposed by the Big 12 would be, quote, unlawful and countered by legal action. The Texas AG, Attorney General Kenneth Paxton, he went to Baylor. I've known him forever. He's older than I am, but I've known him for years, is listed as a defendant along with the Chancellor of Tech, the President, that's at Skovanak. That's Lawrence Skovanak. We have that Z-Man. We have the new marketing person that's working for us at Rogue. She's fresh out of tech. She knows some of these people. She even knows how to say the tech president's name. I'm going to learn it. It's spelled in a very strange fashion, like Schnovac. Skovanak, I think is. If she's watching, she'll correct me. The president and the AD of Texas Tech. Wow, there is a lot going on, and the Big 12 presidents are set to meet today to discuss potential punishment for Sorsby, but sources have indicated to ESPN that they are not expected to make any definitive decisions today. You know, one thing they could do is they could do a fine. They did this against Baylor. They did a sanction against Baylor, which they withheld a lot of money. They ended up giving most of that money back, as I recall. But they could try to sanction and withhold money. I don't think that's going to really hurt Tech that much. I mean, money doesn't seem to be an issue with the Red Raiders, right? The Big 12's filing alludes to barring the school, though. This is the interesting part, Z-Man. The Big 12's filing alludes to barring the school from the conference championship game as a potential sanction. It says when one member institution allows a student athlete whose admitted conduct creates serious integrity concerns to compete in conference games for conference championships, the consequences extend beyond that institution. Tech's decision to associate with, if not endorse, a student athlete in this manner will affect opposing schools, student athletes, fans, broadcasting partners. God. Can you imagine? They win the conference, plow through the schedule, and then they can't be in the. Now, it also sets up that if they're undefeated going to the conference game, that they could still be in the CFP, even if they don't, if they're kept out of the conference championship game. Conference standing, college eligibility, and the public reputation of the Big 12 as a whole. The suit also acknowledges the near unanimity in the college athletics industry that Sorsby should not be allowed to play, and mentions bans on playing Tech by the athletic departments at Georgia and Nebraska. Wow. I mean, this is the one thing that has, this has brought everybody together. This is all of America. Now, Z-Man, when we get to Campus Confidential, may have more information on, Deion Sanders has weighed in, the Attorney General out of Utah, the Attorney General out of Kansas. Now, let me tell you what these people are. The Attorney General out of Texas, Ken Paxton, happens to be running for the U.S. Senate right now. All right, there is a lot of politicking going on. There's a lot of grandstanding going on. So you got some of these people who are standing in solidarity with the Big 12. Ken Paxton is not. Ken Paxton is standing in solidarity with Cody Campbell and Texas Tech. Why would that be? Oh, could it be Cody Campbell is a huge Republican and gives enormous money to some of these campaigns and might give even more money to the campaign of Ken Paxton? Surely not, right? Surely they're above all that. No. These politicians are going to politic. All right, so just to keep score here, Tech, the Attorney General of Texas is siding with Texas Tech. Oklahoma Attorney General, Kansas Attorney General, Utah Attorney General, they're all coming in on the side of these Big 12 schools. Hey, don't let them push you around. We got your back. We're here for you. We're here for you if you need us. All right. Think about that, Z-Man. We got We got to talk about what happened the other night. We got to talk about Brunson. We got so much to talk about today, but this is the big news. Again, the latest news is that the Big 12 has come out firing. And here's what I don't quite understand. And this is where I have enough of a legal background to be a little bit scary. I mean, you don't really need a declaratory judgment, or you don't need federal courts backing to go ahead and sanction Texas Tech. You could go ahead and do it and then get the backup you need, in the aftermath of that. All right. What they're trying to do is get a preemptive strike, rule in our favor, and that will uphold the laws, the bylaws, the regulations of the Big 12. So let's get a quick thing. Now, meanwhile, let's get you all the way caught up on all of this. There's been more filings. In addition to all of this, the NCAA is taking the case it lost in that state court out in Lubbock. It has done what everybody thought it would be, and it's filed an appeal, and it's trying to get it to that Court of Appeals as quickly as possible. All right. And so that part is happening, and that Court of Appeals would be in Amarillo. And let's remind you that the 4 justices in Amarillo happen to all hold their law degrees from Texas Tech. All right. So in some ways that might feel like home court. Doesn't necessarily have to be. I'm not saying people that went to Texas Tech Law School, some of them didn't necessarily go to Texas Tech undergrad. So maybe it's unfair to them to just immediately go, they're going to rule in favor of Texas Tech. But it feels like it would still be somewhat of a home field advantage, home court advantage, we should call that, for Texas Tech. The suit, just to give you some context of what the Big 12 is trying to do here, is highly unusual action from a conference, and it comes amid a volatile situation. Big 12 athletic directors have been outspoken, both publicly and in meetings, in saying they don't want Sorsby to play. Various athletic directors in the league have used the terms disgusted, disheartened, and sad over the judge's decision. Kansas State's came out and called it effing BS. Okay, we had some major language come in there. The Big 12's legal filing Monday follows through on that tenor. The Big 12 and its member institutions have no interest in being required to endorse or even appearing to endorse unethical and indeed unlawful conduct that strikes at the heart of athletic integrity, the filing reads. The suit adds a layer of ambiguity to Sorsby's future. Sorsby is technically eligible to play because of the local court injunction. The deadline listed in Sorsby's lawsuit to declare for the supplemental draft is June 22nd. Whoa. All right, so we got some things happening here. There's so many threats out there, and there's so much happening in all these threats to Tech that they're really hoping they can shame either Tech or to Sorsby in saying enough's enough. I'm not going to jeopardize the future of Texas Tech athletics or their standing, and I'm going to bow out of this. Now, the problem is so by next Monday, he needs to be able, that's the deadline to file for the supplemental draft in the NFL. The problem is, and I'm going to look and see if like Schefter or anybody has said anything about this real quick. We don't know if for certain the NFL is going to let him do it. But with all this hanging over his head, if the NFL, so even if he right now pulled out of this thing and said, you know what, I appreciate Tech, but I'm just not going to pursue this anymore. I've put everybody through too much already. I need to focus on my mental health. I'm going to go ahead and go in the supplemental draft. There is no guaranteed protection that he can be in the supplemental draft. Let's look. By the way, earlier today, just one bit of breaking news. Z-Man, Cowboys holding their mandatory minicamp this week. George Pickens has arrived at the Star today to take his physical per source. By taking part in camp, he avoids a fine. Brian Schottenheimer said last week Pickens' work would be limited after missing voluntary work. So he has reported for work today. So a little bit of news on that front. The mandatory minicamp begins tomorrow, and I plan on dropping by that, and that way we'll be able to react to some of what's going on out there. Mandatory minicamps open tomorrow for the Jets, Bengals, Titans, Broncos, Chargers, Cowboys, Commanders, Lions, Falcons, Saints, and Bucks. By the way, I'm going to send this to you, Z, in case we want to put this up there. I don't know how our video is working right now, but I'm going to send this to you just in case. I love this. I love this little video. I mean, it's not like I'm that huge of a Knicks fan or anything, but you have to be a little happy for the old Knicks. I mean, and honestly, the covering and watching and loving Dirk Nowitzki over the years, the anti San Antonio Spurs feelings were real, and it meant something to a lot of Mavs fans, and I think some of that welled up inside of us as that series went on. So, no huge fan of the Knicks. Am a huge fan of Jalen Brunson. So we'll have more talking about that. We'll have more on the World Cup, because I have to say, Kev, the other day, the old Mosley was going on and on about Balogun. And I had just kind of fallen in love with this guy, watching him in the friendlies. Before they played Germany in a friendly. They had another friendly with, I can't remember, and it was of interest to me. And this Balogun just kind of, I'm like, whoa, what's up with this guy? This guy seems like a killer, man. And sure enough, guy gets in the World Cup, and he just kept scoring. Just like, okay, Balogun. And he's got a nose for the goal. He's inventive. He does some things. Golly, I mean, dare I say, sort of Messi-like when he gets in there. Almost Zidane-like. Maradona-like. He's not as good as those people, obviously. But he just does some stuff that I'm just like, okay. I mean, for the first time since like Landon, we have somebody that seems to have a nose for the goal, that wants to put the ball in the net. So that was very exciting to watch all that. Now we'll have some Campus Confidential. We'll try to get the Z-Man involved. Z-Man, come in here real quick. Z-Man's trying to balance a bunch of shows right now. I mean, put him in.
Yes, sir.
Put him in. Where were you?
I was
were you monitoring some other things? Oh, you're getting our.
Yeah, I was getting that clip ready too. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Did you see that? What I was just sending you, by the way, that Knicks thing. Wasn't that cool?
I haven't been able to watch it all yet.
I
man! I saw him running down the street and do like a little flip.
It was just neat. It was a Nike commercial, and the guy who did Uncut Gems is the guy who did
Josh
that.
Safdie?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, he was at the games.
Yeah, he was there, and he kind of looks like there's another actor. He kind of looks like. Anyway, Safdie, did that. I hope now. Do you think on our regular feed, Z-Man, that I'm looking as clear and normal as I normal? Oh wait, you look better right there, Z. Suddenly your feed looked a little better there. We're trying to hardwire Z in because I don't know why you're fuzzy there. I think it's our new digs, man. We're gonna have to talk about that a little bit. Yeah, because you're you're just not quite the Z. You're a little hazy. I hope it's not. You don't think it's my Wi-Fi,
No,
do you?
you look totally fine, and I'm hardwired. I don't know what else I can do on my end. I'm hardwired in. See, like I don't notice. Like I don't look like that on my end. You look perfectly fine though.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Just to me, and I think to our audience, you're looking just a bit hazy. Now, Z-Man, with all that you're trying to balance today, and I'm sorry. I mean, honestly, I thought, and I think most of us had thought we'd said goodbye to Cam Stewart, right? I mean, he can't live without Drake Toll. So he runs right back into the waiting arms of Drake Toll with the Savannah Bananas of all things. But Cam is a guy. He's a good friend of ours, Z. And I know y'all said goodbye to him, or maybe he said goodbye to Pete. I don't know if he has, because Pete just got married. I mean, who's doing that show while Pete gets married? How have you been doing that?
Well, I did. Z. Brandon helped us out, but Brandon's gone this week. But I did. Yeah, no, I did Pete this morning too. So
good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kevin just dumps it. Yeah, I got to go deliver some dogs. It's like, what in the world? What kind of deal are we doing? Okay. Do you have some Campus Confidential for us coming up?
I do have some Campus Confidential for us in the next segment.
We got a lot going on that front. So anyway, I just want to check in with you, sir. So you go back to whatever it was you were doing. All right. I'll take a break here in a minute. But there he goes, the Z-Man. And we're leaning on him heavily. And but we need to. When you have somebody good like that, you need to lean on him a little bit. Knicks winning. And, how many of these games? The series made it to 5 games. 4 of the games, the Spurs just like choked. Literally, game. It's just unbelievable. The leads they had, the fact they couldn't hold on to anything. You even knew in the fourth quarter. I mean, it was like 10, 12 points, something like that, with about 8 minutes. You just knew, like, okay, how are they going to lose this? How are they going to lose it? And of course they did. And as we get into the day, and I promise you because Cam's unpredictable. Cam had a dentist appointment today. It's very hard to try to plan anything around him. I think he's going to join us at a little after 2:00 today. But I promise you, after we talk to him, I will do some NBA, because I think it's important. We'll also do some World Cup. I just wanted to say right here before we go to break that shame on the Mavs, and most everything we do is Nico's fault, and he's awful, and he deserves a lot of negative attention. But when it really comes to Jalen, I mean, that's Cuban. Cuban still was in charge. Cuban had maybe hired Nico, but Cuban had a lot of say in all of that. And at one point, Jalen Brunson, they wanted to sign. And this was before he had that really good run in the Western Conference Finals. And of course, they went with Luka and Kyrie. But before that, they went with Jalen and Luka. And before that was happening, but Jalen was already playing great basketball for the Mavs. And he was willing to do, and his people didn't really want him to do it, but he wanted security. And he really enjoyed his time in Texas, enjoyed the Mavs. He was willing to do 4 years, $55 million. You heard it right. Now, by the time he had that great run, the Mavs came back around and were like, hey, yeah, we'll do that. And of course, they laughed at it at that point. And he ends up leaving, and he gets the bag from the Knicks. And I thought, like what a lot of you thought. He's good. And good for him for getting that huge money. I mean, I love this guy. But he's not a superstar, standalone face of the franchise guy. Well, let me tell you something. And I'm not saying he didn't have help. And the Villanova guys, Bridges and Hart, and, Catman played well at times during this series. And Mitchell, had that huge rebound. I mean, It's not like he didn't have help. OG was incredible, OG Anunoby. But he is the face of that thing. And even with Carmelo, Amari, Patrick Ewing going way back, all the big-time studs and stars that they have had. Nobody could get it done. You say, well, Matt, Michael was playing. Well, that one year, Michael had left and was playing baseball, and the Knicks that year still couldn't get it done, even without Michael in the way. 1990, 93, 94. Anyway, I'd have to think back through that. But they didn't get it done and Ewing was incredible. And if you want to say he's the greatest Knick ever, fine. If you want to say Walt Frazier is the greatest Knick ever, fine. Who cares? The one who got him the first title since 1973. All right, let me do the math on that. That'd be about 53 years ago. Might have been close to the time I was born. Z-Man, that's amazing. That's amazing. That Brunson, I mean, and he had scored 45 in the closeout game, and he was awesome. And, we knew they were going to throw everything at him. Castle's a good defender. Vassell. I think Dylan's going to be, Harper's going to end up being a good defender already, pretty good defender. I really think, so we got to give Brunson his flowers. And at some point later today, though, Z-Man, we got to talk about how Mitch Johnson and the Spurs blew it, because they spit the bit in a lot of those games. And part of it was his stubborn refusal not to just go, Dylan Harper's incredible, and kind of he's kind of the best thing we have going other than Wemby, maybe even over Wemby in that last game. And yet he played De'Aaron Fox like 37 minutes in that game. De'Aaron Fox turned the ball over, was missing a ton of shots, wasn't great on defense, was 3 for 13 from the field in that game. How at some point do you not realize we can't ride with De'Aaron Fox? He never got it through his head, did he?
I know he didn't, and I kept thinking that he might make that change. Like the thing for me is watching the Spurs play is they look like a young team at times with a young coach. Like you could see that, like you said, keeping Fox in longer than they needed to. Like at that point with him shooting the way he was, like you're not losing anything by letting Harper take a few more extra shots and letting him try to defend Brunson the way it is. Like it was frustrating, I would have to assume, as a Spurs fan to watch, not me, but if you were a Spurs fan watching, to see them constantly have these leads at halftime or even into the third quarter, just to watch them completely just evaporate because your team's shooting percentage would just go down from the first point of the game all the way. I think the stat that I saw Saturday was they were shooting, somewhere in like the 60% to start off the first quarter, then 50, then 40, down to like 35 by the time they get to the fourth. And the Knicks were just always capitalizing on that. I would have tried to throw Harper out there a little bit more because he is going to be the point guard of the future for this team. And I don't know, like at that point, you adjust, like you make changes to try. You don't just hang on to the same game plan you've been doing time and time again and hope that it works this time.
Yeah, or Castle is the point guard and Harper plays off the ball. I mean, they could kind of be interchangeable to a certain extent. And then Vassell and Champagne, I still have trouble with that. It's like I would listen sometimes to like how they were saying it, and they say it so fast. I'm like, is it champagne?
It's Penny, right?
Champagne.
No, champagne.
Is how you say. I think how they say it. Anyway, I mean, they were good. Spurs had so many leads. I mean, maybe they can be like that Cavs coach and claim that, hey, analytically, analytically, we won this game. They led the series a lot longer than the Knicks did. But at winning time, the Knicks had a player that was just the ultimate closer. And it's just pretty amazing to see and I don't know what they list. I mean, if they may list him at 6'1". He doesn't. A lot of times he doesn't even look that tall. Like Brunson, and I was even looking back at some of those pictures, and like, last thing I'll say when you take a break is that it's just maddening that in the same draft, 2018, is that right? Golly, it's been that long. You get Luka and Brunson. You get Luka and you get Brunson with a 33rd pick. You get Brunson, this unbelievable 2 national championships, high school state championship. Like, he was always great. It was always greatness, but it was always held against him. But like a lot of guys, so like, hey, he's small. He's a little guy. How in the world is he ever going to get open? How in the world is he ever going to get shot off? How is he not a good enough shooter? Not this or that. I mean, like, as far as little guys go, you've got Isaiah, maybe the greatest little guy of all time. Chris Paul, certainly somebody that will be thrown out, there for what he did. But now, I mean, he's done something that Chris Paul never did, and that's win a title. And it's unbelievable. I just don't. As far as little guys go in this league, and people try to put Steph in that role, but Steph's actually like 6'3" or 6'4", and he's he's the greatest shooter of all time. I guess you could think of him as a smaller guard, but I don't think of him as a true little guy like I do with Isaiah, Brunson, Chris Paul, Marbury, those kind of guys.
Yeah.
Brunson's, he's going to go down as one of the best little guys ever. And one of the greatest, and the greatest Knicks. Like, some people are already talking like, is he the greatest Knicks player ever? And it may be a little too early to say that, but it's not like they win titles there. They do it once every 53 years, and he just brought them one.
I did find a cool little nugget that I'll throw in there real quick. One of them I'm not going to count, but Jalen Brunson is only the 4th player in NBA history to be a 2nd-round draft pick and then win Finals MVP.
Only the what? Say that again.
He's only the 4th second player taken in a 2nd round of a draft to actually win Finals MVP. The other one would be Jokic in 2023. He was a 2nd-round pick by the Nuggets. Dennis Johnson back in 79 was a 2nd-round pick by the Supersonics. And then they count Willis Reed. He was drafted 8th overall. They had a lot less, rounds then, but still. So that's it of players that have been drafted in the 2nd round that go on to be MVP or Finals MVP.
They count Willis Reed, even though
they do. He was picked 8th. There's like 4 teams in the league. Come on, but yeah.
By the way, I had Cooperstein on the other day, the voice of the Mavs, and he was mad still that Madison Square Garden had taken out that tunnel when they were renovating the place. They had taken out that tunnel that Willis Reed came through when he, the famous when he came out to play. And that was, everybody still talks about the Willis Reed moment. I think there's a lot of young people that don't even know what that means, when they say a Willis Reed moment. But wow, they were wishing that De'Aaron Fox didn't have a Willis Reed moment, that he had never come back to the Spurs. I bet Spurs fans are wishing that. He's a really good player, but what a bad finals he had, quite honestly. And he was banged up. I know people say banged up, but I said the same thing with Luka. It's like, if you're out there in the finals and you're playing, we can't just have the excuse, he was banged up. Like, Luka he wasn't his best in the finals. And some of it was that he was banged up. But he also probably deserves some criticism. But some people are like, no, you can't. He's too banged up. You can't talk about him. All right, we're going to have Cam Stewart stop by for a tearful goodbye. This will be more emotional than Jalen Brunson and his dad hugging. This will be more emotional than Bud Colley winning the RBC Canadian Open yesterday. This will be one of the most emotional goodbyes ever seen here on the Rogue Network. All right. By the way, Z, people are like wanting to get into business with Rogue. I had somebody today call me down. They wanted to talk about how could we get in with you guys? And I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm the wrong person to talk to. But it's a very nice thing, a very nice compliment that more and more people are like, how do we get in business with Rogue? I had that happen today in a meeting. Okay, let's do some Campus Confidential. Let's do it next.
Celebrate America's 250th with Marineland Boating Center. We have Yamaha boats and wave runners in stock and ready for summer fun with great prices, easy financing, and expert service to get you on the water. Join us during the week of July 4th, featuring special savings on Yamaha boats and wave runners, giveaways, and family-friendly fun. Visit Marineland Boating Center, your authorized Yamaha dealer at I-35 and Loop 340 in Waco, or online at MarinelandWacoYamaha.com.
Have you heard the latest about CTWP? Let me tell you. How about 2 cents for a color copy? Only Kyocera offers. Don't believe me? You are the copier dog? Grab your paperwork and let's compare. I guarantee CTWP has the best prices and service.
Bumblebee Blinds of Waco and Temple is your one-stop shop for custom window treatment, transforming your vision into reality. Choose from a selection of shades, blinds, shutters, and curtains. Bumblebee Blinds stands behind our service and products, ensuring peace of mind with our trusted warranty. Call Bumblebee Blinds today to schedule your design consultation. Bumblebee Blinds, simplifying window treatments one covering at a time. BumblebeeBlinds.com.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. When it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. But with the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. Don't buy from social media ads unless the ad is from a verified company. When you click those ads, you open yourself up to fraud. If it seems too good to be true, it almost always is.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
Make this the summer event at Allen Samuels Jeep in Waco. Be among the first to see and drive the all-new 2026 Jeep Cherokee, delivering up to 37 miles per gallon. Or drive home a new 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo with your choice of 0% financing for 36 months or 2.9% for 84 months. Or save $9,000 off MSRP. Don't miss these incredible summer savings at Allen Samuels.
Come by, let's be friends.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco, one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information.
Okay, there we are. The Mosley Show. And thank you, Central National Bank. Thank you for what you do. Thank you, Nesbitt family. Thank you for being such a huge part of what we do. Our presenting sponsor of the Mosley Show as we roll through what's been a busy 1 o'clock hour. I mean, we hadn't even really gotten to talk much about the World Cup. I mean, America has fallen in love with this team, and the ratings backed it up. It's been huge. I bet Z-Man has been talking about that as he's been hosting for Pete. Pete went off and got married. Kind of some people, a lot of ladies across the country, Z, were really upset and sad. Pete Souza was thought to be one of America's most eligible bachelors. And I was invited, Z, and I should have gone. And I think this is what eliminated me from the wedding sweepstakes. I was invited to like a shower they had, and it was way out Fort Worth somewhere, and I couldn't attend. But but it was a nice like couple shower type event. And I was very honored to be featured, to be invited to such a thing. Now with the wedding, unless I missed something in the mail, I don't think it arrived, Z-Man. And despite my close friendship with Pete, and then so I found out about the wedding just looking on Facebook, and then seeing his gorgeous wife in her wedding dress and Pete wearing sneakers. He had to go. Did you happen to see that, Z? The sneakers with the tuck? Oh, Z, I can't hear you. Make sure your mic's on. Z-Man. Yeah. I'm not getting you. We're not hearing you. We've lost. The Z-Man was sounding great earlier. All right. Well, that's going to make Campus Confidential interesting. Z's going to work on that. Z, he's left us for a second, and he'll work on that. But the Mr. Souza, he had almost like old Chuck Taylors, or maybe they were Converse or something, but had some. Actually, I bet they were Air Jordans. Now that I think about it, I was trying to think what kind of sneakers he had on there. But with his tux, as he came down the aisle, there he was. And but lots of family, and the wedding was. And I'm kidding. I mean, it's fine. I'm sure he meant to invite me, but it was exciting to see, and we send him our best wishes, congratulations, and best wishes to the bride and groom, Pete Souza, at age, I don't know, somewhere in his 40s, is finally off the market. And let's try you.
Can you hear me now?
Testing 1, 2. Yes.
Testing, okay.
Yes, we have him. We have the Z-Man. I mean,
it's not my day today.
Here's the thing, Z. I loved our studios in the Alico. Like, those were just the most awesome deal. I don't know. I don't love change, because I kind of liked that situation over there, but who knows? Maybe this will work out fine. I'm sure it'll look visually stunning and all of that, but I'm not ready to embrace it. Yeah. I'm not embracing it quite yet, especially given some of our issues today. But Z-Man plays through anything. It is time for something we call Campus Confidential. Z-Man, with all the lawsuits that are floating around, and now you got to wonder about what the Sorsby and his family are sitting here thinking. Like, that all of America, that this is the one thing that has gotten the Big Ten, the Big 12, ACC, the mighty SEC. That's the one thing. Even Ted Cruz and Senator Cantwell, who did a bipartisan bill in Congress, are going to try to get it through. There are going to be some markups this week, and we're going to kind of take a peek at that thing. But the Z-Man, I mean, this is pretty. I mean, it's bringing all of us together against the old Red Raiders.
That's what they were going to do. They were going to fix college sports, right? And so by doing that, they just had to find a villain for everybody to get up against, and they just made it.
Not enough of a villain with all their cheating. Had to go out and find another villain.
Yeah. No, it is.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, it is very interesting to say. You talked about, obviously, the Big 12 and the suit that they are filing against Texas Tech and the Texas AG over the whole Brendan Sorsby thing. But along with the Big 12, I also saw, and I'm going to try to get names as correct as I can on here, one being the Kansas Attorney General, who is Chris Kobach. It's Kobach, Kobach, maybe. The Kansas Attorney General has come out and said that the Big 12 shouldn't be intimidated by the Texas AG's office, and that the Kansas Attorney General is ready to stand by and assist the Big 12 any way they need to. And Kansas isn't the only state. Utah, today, their Attorney General, Derek Brown, as well as the governor, who is Spencer J. Cox, published a letter addressed to Brett Yormark and the
letter.
A
Oh,
letter.
a letter. Wow. That'll scare the heck out of Paxton and the people at Texas Tech. A letter arrived today.
Dude, hold on. And they're going to make everybody gather around as somebody reads it out loud. No, but they're basically saying the same thing, that BYU and Utah deserve to have what they view as honest competition, and that they are with the Big 12 on this too. So that's the Kansas AG, the Utah AG, and the governor all backing the Big 12. And then on top of all that, coach.
Don't forget Oklahoma.
That's
Oklahoma
true.
AG the other day waded into this stuff. Who are we waiting on? Where's Arizona? Where is the Arizona?
No
two schools.
Yeah. I would think maybe they're waiting for their letter to arrive too. Maybe they've sent it, but postage these days, it takes a bit to arrive. Maybe we'll hear like tomorrow or Wednesday that it came in. No, nothing on Arizona yet. And I'm trying to think as I look through the rest. I don't know if West Virginia might be the only other team out there. But it's not just, attorney generals and governors themselves that are.
Colorado, we have not heard from.
That's true.
We're about to hear from Colorado, but we haven't heard from the governor or anybody.
We haven't. But speaking of Colorado, as you brought up, we have heard from the main university, their coach, and Coach Prime and Deion Sanders, who came out and basically his is like, somebody's gambling on the sport you're playing. Like that, at the end of the day, is the biggest problem here, at least to him, of like somebody that's on, if it was somebody on my team, they're out there gambling on the game that we're playing. He had a whole other slew of list of things that he thought would make sense to help the game of football, like a salary cap in terms of like these NIL deals. Because he brought like Tech, going over and using it for softball and for baseball and other things too. And he brought up like, a salary cap would work really well for NIL. But main thing, at least in the whole scheme of the Big 12 and Brendan Sorsby, is Coach Sanders is very much on that. That this is, obviously I think that where a lot of people are coming in from, that he doesn't like that he's playing or he's betting on the sport that he's playing. I do have a question for you, Matt, and you know more about this than I do, so I might have missed some of it at this point in time. But there is another Big 12 team that Mr. Sorsby played for before. Has Cincinnati said anything at all, or are they just kind of like, oh, this is Texas Tech's problem now?
My gut tells me they have weighed in and they're already filing. They already filed a lawsuit when he left. I can't remember if they've settled that or whatever.
Oh, I do remember that.
See, they're party to a lawsuit with a breach of contract. So everybody wants a piece of Mr. Sorsby. Can you imagine, like, if he fights all this, won't all his NIL funds be gone to like attorney's fees?
That's what they're to pay off his attorney costs. Yeah.
I have studied that a little bit, and I will tell you that I kind of thought the same thing. I'm like, okay, Cincinnati, you guys knew the way I understand it is they were sent an alert that Cincinnati, that he was betting on games, but the AD and coach and everybody have said, we didn't know anything about this. So I would like to know at some point a true, like, okay, if someone in the gambling industry or law enforcement or whoever, wherever this popped up, who was notified at Cincinnati, and why wasn't something done there? Like, if they are truly mad at him and were suing him for breach of contract, why didn't they turn him in for this, for gambling? It turns out, I guess he can just go get a state, injunction. Now, the big news today, just to reiterate, and I appreciate Z covering all this ground that you're covering. I think all of these things are important, but the Big 12 has filed suit in federal court against Tech, against the president, the chancellor, the AD. I'm surprised they didn't just try to haul Cody Campbell's rear into court as well. But they're basically suing, and then also a preemptive strike against the Attorney General of Texas, Ken Paxton's office, in saying we want a declaratory judgment, and in federal court we want it said that we have the right to enforce our bylaws. And right now, what happened coming out of the was basically a letter. You were joking about letters earlier.
Yeah.
Basically, that wasn't like a court filing. What Ken Paxton, the Attorney General of Texas, put out was basically just like, let's if you try to do this to tech, if you sanction them, we're going to go after you, and this would be this, and this. And so what Big 12 is seeking is a judgment in federal court that says we have the right to enforce our own laws, our own bylaws. Now, meanwhile, the NCAA they filed the appeal from the state court ruling, and they're trying to get that into the federal court of appeals out of Amarillo, and they want to speed that thing up because if we wait to get an injunctive, if we're waiting to get that, what happened in Lubbock, that thing, the season will be over by the time that. Oh, other huge news, Z, coming out of what happened here, this court filing from the Big 12, and they allude that one of the possible sanctions could be if Tech plays Sorsby, they could hold them out of the Big 12 championship game. That's interesting. Like a fine would do nothing. A fine would be like, Cody could just write that check. I mean, it doesn't even really matter how much it is. $50 million. $50 million would be a lot. And I don't think they're going to go. There's some level that they're not going to go. Now, they could do $1 million, $500,000 or $1 million. And again, Cody can pay that in his sleep because this guy keeps selling his companies for like $1 billion every couple of years. But those are the only sort of meaningful fines. Now, I did notice that it's been brought up what the Big 12 did to Baylor. And since I remember that very well, I want to bring that up again. In 2017, they withheld like 25% of Baylor's media rights money. All right. And Baylor ends up with about $14 million getting withheld. But just to remind everybody, the way I understand that is Baylor hit all these benchmarks of like, we're doing all this in Title IX, we're doing this, and this. And the Big 12 ended up eventually giving that money back to Baylor. Now, there may have been some attorney fees Baylor had to pay that didn't come back to it. But for the most part, Baylor did get its money back. And that was the sexual assault scandal of 2016, which everybody well remembers. Tech, if they get some kind of huge fine, is not going to get that money back.
No.
If they try to hold Tech out of the Big 12 championship game, there's going to be all sorts of lawsuits. Tech's going to file suit. The state of Texas behind, the attorney general. Now, we have to separate what's real and not real. What's not real is this thing that Ken Paxton put out, this letter. It's not any sort of binding thing. That is, Tech, we've got your back. You are a member school in our state, and Cody is a Republican voice who's got President Trump's ear, and he is a huge donor to the Republican Party. And oh, by the way, you guys might remember I'm running for Senate. The Attorney General is, okay? Let's not, and again, this is not, oh, Mosley's taking political sides. No, I'm not. I'm just telling you what's actually happening here. And by the way, those other states, Oklahoma's governor or whoever did that one, that he's running for, the Attorney General in Oklahoma, I think he's running for governor of Oklahoma. And I promise you, if we look into Kansas and we look into Utah, a lot of these things are politically motivated. What do politicians love? And I don't care if they're Democrats or Republicans, scoring political points. Oh, wait, how long has Cam been with us?
He just slid in.
So let's take a quick break. That was good, Z. Save anything else you have, and we'll get to us post-Cam. But we need to take one more break because I just noticed Cam's in there with us. And then we'll be Cam Stewart in a tearful goodbye as he returns from the dentist office, and he leaves us forever, all right? He keeps trying to leave Mosley. It never works. It never works out for people because Mosley's always, I might decide I want to go run the Savannah Bananas, and then he'll be again working for a Mosley-sponsored entity. All right, it is the Mosley Show. Cam Stewart joins us next.
At Schmaltz Sandwich Shop, we don't just make sandwiches, we build them with fresh ingredients, bold flavors, and homemade baked bread every single day. Toasty on the outside, goodness on the inside. Schmaltz Sandwich Shop in Waco is locally owned and operated since 1975 with 2 locations in Waco, Town West off Valley Mills and downtown off 5th Street. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or just a craving, we got the perfect bite waiting for you.
Do you suffer from low sports enthusiasm? Have you just not been able to get into the game? Maybe your balls are just feeling deflated. Well, get back to your old self and enjoy the game again. The friendly bartenders at Dancing Bear want you to know that you're not alone, and they can help. With dozens of craft beers rotating every week, pints of beer at Dancing Bear Pub have proven to reduce symptoms of low sports enthusiasm. Side effects include good times, good vibes, and new friends. Do not visit Dancing Bear Pub without consulting 4 or 5 of your closest buddies.
Make this the summer event at Allen Samuels in Waco. Get a new 2026 Ram 1500 Laramie with 0% for 60 months or 2.9% for 72 months, plus $13,500 off MSRP. Or step up to a new 2026 Ram 2500 Laramie diesel and save $13,500 off. Both have America's best truck warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain. Allen Samuels in Waco.
Come by, let's be friends.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Senor Mosley with you. So much today. We had so much to talk about. I was going to do a lot of soccer talk, a lot of NBA talk. I mean, we had soccer around here. Japan was playing, like the Dutch were in town. I mean, they're in the orange, we call them, or whatever. The Netherlands, I mean, they were just having the best time. I mean, just in Arlington, right down the road. And I love that grass. I wish they'd just leave that. The grass looks wonderful, just mowing that stuff. But we're fortunate enough, and it's hard to pin him down because he's got a lot of stuff going on. He's very busy. There he has arrived. And we'll see. See what kind of ball cap he has. Is that a Red Sox? What do you have on?
You got an Indianapolis Clowns ball cap hat on here, Matt.
Indianapolis Clowns. Okay. Now that could be of interest to us. Normally I would say no, but now there's some history to that franchise.
Yeah.
And Kim, you look good, by the way, and you look refreshed, and you look like a man who may have landed at yet another gig. You're someone kind of like I've been at times that likes to balance several gigs. I have to think that you'll never end your relationship with a Locked On family. That'll probably just play itself out
It's too good.
to the end of time. But Kim, the sad news, and of course I had to hear about it via email, even though I've been your longtime mentor, but that's okay. I would never try to settle a score here live.
Pigeon didn't get there in time. Sorry.
But you're leaving the Rogue family, and boy, a lot of people in the Baylor SID department very upset about this. I mean, you had really made amends, and I think people were starting to really think, you know what, Kim may be okay. And then now you have decided. Now tell us, and I just don't know. I'm sure. See, this is a weird goodbye because not just the one I'm doing right now, but also because the show you've been on, well, you got the Cam Stewart show, of course, but also you were co-hosting and producing the Pete Souza show, but then Pete goes off and gets married like the week where you're trying to say goodbye.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that's been a proper goodbye. So let's give you a real proper goodbye. And boy, Z was telling me earlier, he's like, let's not waste our time with this. I said, Z,
Classic.
he means the world to me.
Classic.
And let's not have that attitude. Let's give this man his proper goodbye. So congratulations. What is your new gig? And what is it that you find more appealing about it than even the great Rogue Media Network?
Well, I wear the hat for a reason today, Matt. I am the new voice of the Indianapolis Clowns of the Banana Ball Championship League. It was just in beautiful Morgantown, West Virginia this past weekend. Had a nice little series out there. Clowns dropped both games. But you mentioned there's some history there. A revived Negro League team, the last of the Negro League teams. The Negro Leagues ended in 1960. Your Indianapolis Clowns, they barnstormed around this country until 1989. And the Banana Ball Championship League, along with the Negro Leagues Museum in Kansas City, which I did get to visit a few weeks ago, decided to worked in partnership to bring this team, bring this brand back. Kind of we call it the original baseball circus, kind of the Savannah Bananas before the Savannah Bananas was even close to an idea, is now back and playing amongst them. We'll be playing the Savannah Bananas this weekend. So
that's great to honor that legacy and that museum. Unbelievable. And to have their broadcaster be one of the widest guys I know.
Come on. Who knows more? Who do you know that knows more baseball history than me, though?
You're not exactly the Jackie Robinson of that group, but no, I tell you, and Drake, though, obviously his background there in Arkansas, he's got tremendous ties. But no, and Drake, we'll leave him out of this, although he has an affiliation with the Savannah Bananas, and he's a good friend of yours, good friend of mine over the years. I mean, despite his efforts, which one is he with?
He's with the Party Animals.
Okay. What are they? But you're the Indianapolis Clowns. What are the Party Animals? What is their base?
They do not have a place name. And all these teams are based out of Savannah. So all the players are living in Savannah, staff's living in Savannah. So but they do not have a place name. They're one of the two teams in the league that doesn't have one. Party Animals and the Firefighters.
Did you get introduced to all your players like at one time, or did you kind of get to go up and visit with them kind of one-on-one? What was it like? Or is that going to just kind of happen over time? Was there any formal, like, hey guys, gather around here. We want you to meet the new broadcaster for our team. Were you given a nice introduction like that?
Yes, I was. In fact, our friend Drake facilitated that. So I got introduced to the team en masse, but the last couple of weekends that I've been with them, it's kind of been gradually kind of getting to know these guys, a little one-on-one. We've got a Massachusetts guy on the team, guy who grew up right next door to me, basically next town over. But just getting to know those guys the last couple of weeks. We've got former Red Sox player on the team, MLB AL All-Star, Jackie Bradley Jr. on the team. Got to know him a little bit. Monet Davis, I know you still remember from her days at Little League World Series fame. She is an Indianapolis Clown. So getting to know these players, these fellas and ladies over the last couple of weekends, get to kind of meet them one-on-one a little bit.
I don't know if you watched the Red Sox and the Rangers last night, but they could probably use a little help right now. Although I think the Red Sox won the first couple of games. Yeah, I know. But
I wasn't allowed. I'm too many generations removed from my Scotland roots to get in the ballpark last night. Did you see that, Mosley?
Yeah, that was pretty neat.
That was cool, man. Yeah. That was cool.
And even the Rangers were.
I'm waiting for the Rangers game that's all orange.
I thought the Rangers. I thought that was fun, and apparently the man. I don't know if you saw after the game, Schumacher, the Rangers manager, who's got he's got some good like scripture on his elbow there, on his forearm. You know what? If I was a tattoo guy, there's some scripture. I don't know what I would choose, but I'd like to do that, like a forearm type scripture. Nice. But he said there was a kid next to and I don't know if it's a Scottish kid or whatever, but he said there was a kid that was his first ball game next to the Rangers dugout, and he kept asking Schumacher, the Rangers manager, if he wanted some of his popcorn. But apparently it was a neat atmosphere.
Yeah.
I mean, in a place where the fans already believed they invented baseball, I bet that was kind of neat to get a bunch of folks that were maybe seeing one of their first games, and you could hear them doing their chants. And what does a Scottish chant sound like? Do you know what they were saying?
You want the one they were singing all night?
What were they? Yes. What were they saying?
I know you're a big fan of Billy Ray Cyrus, "Achy Breaky Heart." That's what it's set to.
Of course.
He's John McGinn. Ho, Super John McGinn. I just don't think you understand. He's Steve Clark's man. He's better than Zidane. He's our Super John McGinn. That's it.
Is that a current player
yeah.
Okay. And
he's
he
their
really
striker? Yeah.
What did they do the other day? Did they tie or something?
No, they won. They beat Haiti 1-0.
Oh, Haiti won. Yeah. Oh, did you see the result today?
Yes, I was going to ask you about that. I mean, that's one of the most shocking results we've ever seen.
Announce that score. I've not said that yet. So
I'll give a little homage to Harvard Yale 1968. Cape Verde beat Spain 0-0. A little 0-0 draw as the 82nd ranked team in the world versus the number 3 ranked team in the world. Man, that's it's insanity. Just crazy.
Tell us where's Cape Verde? I just don't. I've ordered it before, but I don't remember.
Actually, we have a pretty big Cape Verde population here in Massachusetts, but it's an island off southern South America. It's not big at all. 500,000 people.
You think it's smaller than Curacao, or
it might not be smaller than Curacao? That's also pretty small. You're right.
They've had some good ball players from Curacao.
Yeah,
over the years, baseball. But this place apparently produces nice soccer players. And the goalkeeper, by the way, was apparently unbelievable because the Spaniards were firing away. And who is that right?
Yeah, Spain.
Okay, yeah. As I said, Spaniards, I started to doubt myself. I mean, they're like the European champs. I mean, they have some major people, don't they?
Yeah, if you take stock in this, they were my pick before the tournament to win the whole thing.
Wow.
Lamine Yamal is their star player. Solid Spanish team. Yeah, European champs.
I've been watching Javier Bardem in Cape Fear. But
has that come out?
Oh yeah,
on Apple.
Yeah, the first 3 episodes are out.
Ooh, that might be me and Grace's.
Did you watch? Because it was made about the time you were coming into our world. Wait, were you still born in the 90s? At the end of the 90s?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think it was 99 or 2001. I'm just trying to think when with De Niro that Cape Fear
that's
was
before
made.
that. I want to say that's like 91, 92. Can we get Zach checking
I think
that?
you're right. I think it's 91.
Nick Nolte.
I was a senior
Jessica
in
Lange.
high school. Yeah, 91. Nick Nolte. Yeah. And by the way, a cameo from Juliette Lewis.
Yeah, she was
in this
great
newest
in that movie.
Newest one.
okay.
Yeah. I saw that. Oh, yeah. You sort of know, but what it does is gets all the things that have happened since 1991, like the cell phones and the drones and the social media. We get a lot of that. But Bardem, I'm surprised he did this because he didn't necessarily want to do. He had to be really talked into doing No Country for Old Men, and he's now considered that role is considered Entine, whatever it was, is considered one of the great villains of all time.
Yeah.
And so once you're kind of considered that, I don't know if you want to go around taking a lot of villain roles. If you don't want them competing with each other.
Especially one that was played by De Niro last
Correct.
time. You know what I mean? And
Correct.
a great De Niro performance.
And he really did a good job of making that kind of a Southern Gothic type of villain. He was rough.
Yeah.
I still think one of the great scenes from that Cape Fear was when they were about to pull off from that gas station, and I won't say too much, but you kind of know.
Do you like the original better or the 91 version?
I would be lying if I said I have sat there and watched first to the end, start to the end original. I've watched enough to know Mitchum, and I know who kind of was in it. Wait, who are the other roles?
Gregory Peck.
Peck was the dad.
I mean, those are really it. Mitchum, great actor.
Peck played a good lawyer, and he played if you needed somebody to be earnest and just like he just oozed dignity and integrity.
Which is kind of different in the second movie. I think that's kind of cool. Nick Nolte is not perfect in that movie. He's got his own skeletons in the closet. He withholds evidence. That's kind of the first one is like Gregory Peck kind of happens upon the scene and stops it and then tries against him in court. But the Nick Nolte version, it's not. He had evidence that might have cleared Max Cady, but Max Cady was a really bad guy.
In this one, they kind of have what's your favorite word, like milk toast or whatever. They kind of go milk toast with the husband because Amy Adams is kind of the powerhouse, to match up with Bardem.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they wanted as strong of a male role. So her husband is played by Patrick somebody. Is it Patrick Wilson? And he's good. He's not a bad, he's a good actor, and he's extremely likable, but he's not a powerhouse type actor. He's just a likable actor, but he's not a match.
Patrick Wilson. Yeah, he's in some horror movies.
Yeah, he's not a great matchup with Adams because she's a strong actress.
Yeah.
Okay, but back to the clowns.
Yes.
Indianapolis Clowns. I love the legacy. I love the history of this. How long had you been holding out on us? So this had probably been a conversation that was going on for a while. We don't have to get too in the weeds on this, but I guess what does this allow you? I mean, I've obviously followed your career and have been a part of it at times. This is going to be interesting because what are you charged to do in this role? Or how much of your broadcast is playing it somewhat straight and calling what's before your eyes? And then how much of it is trying to dip into some comedic material and entertain your audience? And then also how do we see you? Where are our options? Because I do see some of these games on some form of TV.
Yep.
And so I'm interested in finding you on TV, but like where are your what are your platforms for this?
Yeah, so every game we play is on YouTube through whomever the home team is and their YouTube account. It's free. It's, it's archived. All the games are there. But in a case like this weekend, we're playing the Bananas, Cincinnati, Great American Ballpark. We're going to have at least one of those games, I got to double check, on ESPN. So we're going to be national TV. 2 weeks ago in Kansas City, we had one on True TV, one on the CW. So we're on TV a lot. We've got 3 series going on every weekend because of 6 teams. And one of them is on TV, at least one, all the time. In fact, we watched the Bananas on ESPN2 the other night at Lincoln at Memorial Stadium, Nebraska. But that's
Tom
what
Osborne was out there.
Yeah. Tom still got it, man. Still, he's not even 90 yet. Can you believe that?
They had a picture of
former House of Representatives rep Tom Osborne.
And he was briefly the coach at Nebraska.
Yes.
Had an illustrious career there. But at the same time, I love that Barry Switzer in true form, who's got to be. He's either 88 or 89. So Barry's closing in on 90, which is what you're indicating Osborne is.
Yeah, I think Osborne's 89.
Yeah. One guy was doing Jell-O shots in Omaha because the Oklahoma Sooners are there. Stoops was with him. And one guy was at the Savannah Bananas game at Lincoln. Did they fill up that place?
Oh, yeah. 85,000. Wow. Packed it right out.
Have you met yet in person the founder, that the Grand Poobah?
Yeah. Yep.
What's he like? Does he seem like kind of a pretty grounded, normal guy in person, or is he at all times kind of a big personality? This is the founder of the Savannah Bananas and this entire endeavor.
Yeah.
What's his name? What's his name?
Jesse Cole.
Yeah.
And I will say it is both. He's got a big personality, but it's not fake. He's not mailing it in. He's not fabricating it. So I've met him a couple of times here now. He's actually another loyal child of the South Shore of Massachusetts. We grew up not too far away from each other, obviously at different times. We actually share a baseball coach in common from our youth days. But no, very much a guy with big ideas, always looking big, a guy who's very intentional with all his staff and everyone around him. So I have had nothing but good things, and we've all, from what I've heard, nothing but good things to say about our experiences with Jesse. It's all real. John Candy, Planes, Trains, Automobiles, the real article. What you see is what you get.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with a lot of it's a lot of entertainment, and there's a lot of showmanship, and it's it's been compared to the Harlem Globetrotters coming through town, and I don't think that's I think that's a compliment, because that's one of the most popular and successful organizations in the history of professional sports. And but what it does is brings new people to the game and the game of baseball. And quite honestly, baseball, for a lot of people, they just didn't even give it a chance. And when they did, they found it boring. And my daughter, I brought her up as a huge sports fan, and she loves the NBA, and there's certain things she likes, and she likes baseball in person. But I just think there are kids, hopefully, kind of getting exposed. People of all ages. I mean, what I don't understand, and I hope you never do this, by the way, don't ever feel the need, and I think you'll naturally not do this, but there's sometimes a need to respond like to the haters. And I noticed the people in College Station, even some of the media, it's like, wait, why do you care that the people from the University of Texas or whoever's making fun of you, why you just filled a stadium of 100,000 people to watch the Savannah Bananas and had this incredible experience, and everybody seemed to have a great time.
Yeah.
Why do you care that somebody's making fun of that? So as
some no name on Twitter is tweeting about.
Yeah. It's like, it's just dumb.
Yeah.
And it's dumb to feel the need to respond to that. But yet sometimes, especially young people in social
Yep.
media, oh, we got to dunk on them, or we got to
Yeah,
respond.
and
It's
and I don't
yeah.
I don't get it past the point of like some people are just going to hate on whatever, you know what I mean? So I do get
Yeah.
it from that standpoint because we know people. But as someone like I was not a big banana ball guy at first. I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, like from the very beginning I've been watching this. No, I'm still fairly new to this. And you know me, I'm a pretty old school baseball guy. I love my baseball history and everything baseball, but once I started watching it, man, I was hooked. Like it's I think what a lot of people don't realize about it is it's almost all baseball in a really good way. Of course, there are some different rules. There's trick plays. There's ball force sprints instead of walks. You know, there's fan caught foul balls. There's all these things, but these guys are all baseball players. And the show that they put on from 7:00 game, we're dropping a rope at 3:00. From 3:00 to basically 11:00, you are getting an incredible show. They're not gouging you for prices. You get to meet all these guys after the game. You get to get their autographs. You get to talk to them. You get to give them friendship bracelets if you bring them. You know, it's just this unique experience that pro sports can't, or maybe more accurately won't give to you. They will not give it to you. And I see what goes into this, not just behind the scenes, but literally what you can see as a fan. It brings a lot of joy to a lot of people. And so that's what I would say to those burner account haters of like, man, just look at what it does for some of these people. You know, you could very easily do the same thing as an NBA fan dunking on the NHL, you know, and saying you don't get hockey or you don't like this, you know, but a lot of people do. And I'm sure there are a lot of Americans that right now are saying, why would anyone give a crap about the World Cup? It's like, clearly it's a big deal and it brings a lot of joy to people. So,
all right.
Loving banana ball.
Yeah. Okay. We're happy for you, and any Cam Stewart success, we're all for. And this seems like a fun thing. And I'm mainly concerned about what Grace thinks about it.
Oh man, she
fiance
loves banana ball.
Yeah. And, but anyway, let me just ask you this. Put your Baylor hat on for a second, because we get in this dog days.
It's the podcasting studio. I got it right here.
You had it right there. You had Sailor Bear ready to go.
What do we got?
These are the dog days. They decided to keep Mitch Thompson. Unfortunately, and I like what I heard from Doug McNamee, that he's going to get behind Mitch Thompson and really throw some money behind this. Unfortunately, they're arguably their best all-around player, not their home run hitter. He's run out of eligibility. Tice Armstrong had an incredible year, but Travis Sanders has left the program. I think another pitcher has left. What's the Baylor story for you that's kind of driving the most traffic right now? Is it kind of talking about the upcoming football season? Was there anything to the schedule release the other day of basketball that grabbed people's attention? I would think the Sorsby thing, there's different ways to get into that. By the way, news on that today, the Big 12 is now trying to get this thing into a federal court, and they have basically asked for relief from, hey, don't let the Attorney General come after us on this thing. And we're going after Texas Tech and their chancellor and their president and their AD for our right to put sanctions on them, including the potential of saying they can't, as he's playing, they can't participate in the Big 12 championship game. I'll ask you this. This is a long-winded way, and which is the only way I know how to do it. Is the ultimate goal here? I'm starting to feel this, to throw so much at Sorsby and so much at Tech. And first, they don't seem to care, right? They seem to just be like, okay, come at us with all you've got. But that there'll be so much of this that they finally just go, okay, you got us, or I'm going to go be in the supplemental draft, which I don't even know if he can do that.
No, we got a week on that.
Yeah. But again, they're now saying they don't know if the NFL will take him for certain. how do you see this thing playing out?
Well, I think what's an interesting way, the way you just kind of laid it out, is it might be that they're throwing so much at them that the clock will run out. Like this injunction that Sorsby has gotten, he might be deemed ineligible at some point, but it's not going to be until February. So they've already, they've beaten the clock on that, right? They don't care because they'll have the whole season to figure it out. And I'm wondering, are these Big 12 schools and the Big 12 as a whole now trying to throw enough at them that it delays Brendan Sorsby? What if they get their own temporary injunction as a conference for him to not play, and that hearing to reverse that isn't until January? You know what I mean? I'm wondering if we're just playing kind of a politicking,
Absolutely.
Wheels of justice kind of
all
game.
Those attorney generals, including Paxton, and Paxton's a Baylor guy, are all scoring political points.
They're all running. Yeah.
Well, yeah. He's running for U.S. Senate, and Cody Campbell happens to be one of the biggest Republican donors in America, right? I mean,
Yep.
So it behooves him to get behind Tech.
And so I think that's the biggest story related to Baylor right now. And, as we sit in mid-June, is how does Baylor relate into this? And what I'm wondering, because I'm seeing kind of a split opinion from the fan base from what I see online, is do Baylor fans want the Bears to kind of stand up against this? Because me personally, I'm in a place where I don't think Brendan Sorsby should play. Not a hot take. I think it's a disgrace that he's allowed to play and play against us. But I also don't want to be in that seat of well, then we shouldn't even play him. We should take the forfeit if we need to, which might be better for the point differential for Baylor. We don't even want to take the field against him. I'm of the mind of hey, it sucks, but he's here. Best way to shut them up is to beat them. I don't think Baylor can really probably do that the way Tech's roster lines up, but I do understand from both sides why some of these schools wouldn't want to play against them, but I also think that's a bit of a cowardly way out.
I mean, they could be the next Michigan. And one thing I've said is that nothing endears a fan base to its coaching staff and its team and everything like a good scandal.
Oh yeah.
And
trust me.
Although I think the Baylor one, while
not that kind. Yeah.
That's a different deal.
We're talking Michigan and the Patriots.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. When you said, I wanted to clear that up because you were thinking that you were not thinking. Although with the Brazos thing,
some people galvanized. Yeah.
A large amount of defenders, but again, that's another deal. It's going to be fascinating to see how this plays out. But you're right. But what you're saying about politicking is so true because now we're looking where's the Arizona AG? Where's this politician? Why hasn't he? Oklahoma sounded off, Kansas, Utah. Dion got involved today out of the great state of Colorado.
Unbelievably, Dion has injected himself.
So far, not much out of Doug McNamee, the Baylor's new AD. I think Doug's kind of my first big foray. I don't know if I need to come out here taking swipes at Tech.
I think Doug's looking for some
Doug's
fun.
a little more of an orator or a little bit more of he's a little more refined than Gene Taylor, who, by the way, was ready to screw over Jerome Tang, right? We're not going to pay you and we're going to fire you for cause, and and it came out and just basically on the record. I don't know if he knew he was on the record, but he did get on the record, right?
Yep.
Called this effing BS. Was quoted as calling this effing BS. This is a lot. This is a lot to withhold. I don't, the Baylor baseball thing. Here's what I would say about this, Kim. They need something right now that they've had such a great history of success in men's and women's basketball over the past 20 years or whatever. They are good at softball. They are good at men's tennis. And they seem to be really good at women's golf right now. They just hired a new men's golf coach or whatever. But baseball is that sport that just through college baseball and there's a lot of excitement around all that in Omaha. And it's like, if Baylor's going to be kind of iffy in football, and I don't see any way around that. Like, and Art's not walking through that door like somebody with a trick, right?
Yeah.
You either need somebody with a trick or you need the money. But if one team has a $40 million roster and your team has a $10 million roster, you're going to get your rears handed to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't see a big turnaround in football. Women's basketball is just kind of blah right now. Men's basketball is struggling. Like, it would be nice to be like really good at something that is getting more and more of a platform.
Yeah.
And that would be college baseball.
Look at what it's doing for West Virginia.
Yeah. Or
I mean,
like
they're in a tough spot.
Yeah,
they're in a tough spot in football, West Virginia. They're in I guess also a tough spot in men's basketball. You know, I know they've been close to the tournament. They probably should have been in the tournament last year. But based on what we've seen the last 20 years, this is down for West Virginia men's basketball. But this has been a huge, huge boost for them. Omaha for the first time. Tech last year, down in baseball for the first time in a long time. And softball goes to Oklahoma City. And it's a huge deal. Like, that was a big national sports story. It can also be your front porch. There's nothing bigger than football, but baseball can be a front porch for you if you're Baylor. And you see it when it gets to the super regionals and definitely to Omaha. There's a lot of eyeballs on that thing. And yeah, Troy's there. Why can't you be? Why can't you make the tournament? I think is the question for Baylor baseball.
Before we start talking about going to Omaha, it's like make the tournament again.
Yeah, finish in the top half of the conference. The Big 12 has been interesting the last couple of years. It's been top heavy, but it has not been very deep. Kansas and West Virginia obviously were the two standouts this year. But it's not like it was this murderer's row like the SEC is, for example, or even the ACC. With Baylor, I'm a Mitch Thompson believer. There's obviously a ton of talent around this area. Yes, there's struggles for a school of Baylor's size, but Dallas Baptist seems to figure it out. TCU seems to figure it out pretty commonly. Rice used to figure it out better than almost anybody. I think it's reasonable to expect Baylor baseball to be one of the 64 best programs in the country.
Except I think they would say that the Texas States and the UTSAs of the world and some of these schools, it's so much less to go to school there. Now, Baylor has more scholarships, but I think how much it costs to go to Baylor ends up crushing them. Now, again, you say, well, how did Vandy build a monster program? Well, see, that's another story. That they somehow have some kind of huge endowment, and they dip into that for some of their athletics and maybe some of baseball. Rice may have used to do that to a certain extent.
Yeah, probably.
So some of the egghead universities will occasionally loan their athletics money, and they're smart enough not to give it to their football people most of the time, because they're like, our football people are just going to waste this. Let's give it to baseball because they won't just go waste this money. I don't know. I'll say last thing I'll say to you that it concerns me, and I don't know if Dave will make it this year. And I like Dave, and I've spent some time recently, even just one-on-one with Dave. It's like Baylor's playing a different ball game. I'm not even talking about just straight up, they have a bigger sound. Like when Baylor did the thing and Mac was like, okay, now we have a cap of whatever, $21.5 million or $22 million. Like, Baylor's still trying to play by that. And like, I mean, I think Doug's doing everything in the world to try to help, but almost everybody else you're going up against is bringing in money. They just laugh at that cap.
Yeah.
Right. They laugh at that. Oh, we're giving this group this much money, this group this much money. Baylor has to be like everybody else. And I said this to Glenn Moore the other day. If there's a John Sellers out there, Cody Campbell type, but John Sellers is the one that his wife played softball at Tech. So every year he's just like, who's the best pitcher out there? Oh, here's $1 million.
Go get her.
Yeah, we'll go get her. Like, there's no reason in the world Baylor couldn't do that, but we don't. We feel like we still have to play by the rules, And while it's admirable to a certain extent, and it's like, well, we're Baylor, we've never quite broken out of that to the point where it's like, wait a second, what rules? Nobody else is playing by any rules.
Yeah.
There's no one out there playing by these rules. And if you are, people are just running circles around you.
I'll use my favorite Rhett Butler quote, Matt Mosley, to close out that thought. The cause of living in the past is dying right in front of us.
Yeah.
Can't be living by those rules anymore.
No, but maybe Congress will bail us all out, right? And maybe Ted Cruz, who would have thought Ted Cruz and
Ted.
Maria Cantwell will bail us out. Cam, thank you, buddy. I've always enjoyed working with you, and I still would like to call upon you at times. And I've always thought that we had it was fun being your teammate through, and I know you've tried to escape me a couple of times, and then I kind of end up where you go, or you end up where I am. And so, who knows? Maybe the bananas call on me at some point.
Who knows? Call to the bullpen.
But
Mosley.
Appreciate you, buddy, and congratulations, and we wish you all the success in the world. Did you just get your teeth cleaned today, or did you have any dental work? Okay.
Yeah, little teeth cleaning. Got to get a crown next week.
Did you wear your retainer after
no.
After Bill spent all that money on the orthodontics?
No, that's why I got all this crowding.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I gotta get some Invisalign.
Oh no, they're not. No, the clowns are not going to love that.
The clowns are going to love it when it looks great after 6 months.
I know, but they're going to see you acting weird and enunciating things in a weird manner. All right, buddy. Can't wait to see you in a fur coat or whatever you're.
Oh, you'll like it. You'll like it. Keep an eye out this weekend. You'll like it.
I'll get
it's
to
very
see
much
your
Mosley fashion.
Get up.
Yep.
Okay, tell everybody I said hi. Tell Grace hello, and congratulations.
Thanks for having me, Matt. Appreciate it. Appreciate your well wishes. You've got my number. Anytime you need me on here.
Keep me in mind on a wedding invitation. Pete did not quite come through on that, so we're
lost in the mail. Yeah.
We're hoping you do. All right, there he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Cam Stewart has left the building, and he is no longer at Rogue. He's all grown up. I don't know if you really grow up. Do you, if you go to the Savannah Bananas? Is that growing up? We need to take one more break. Let's take one more break, Z, and then we'll wrap it up. And we may have a couple of breaking news items, but we want to take care of our folks. And thank you, Cherry Johnson, Siegmund James, our incredible law firm. Thank you, Schmaltz's. Thank you, Lake Waco Golf Club. Thank you for what you're doing out there. Just unbelievable. And thank you, Alan Samuels. And then we've got some major things to add. We have people trying to join us and partner as we speak. But boy, C&B, Central National Bank, is there anybody that's more loyal than that bank? Mosley and Central National Bank, two entities that go hand in hand, all right? They both stay open late. They're both they're both about service, and they're both about just knowledge. I don't know. That last part is questionable on my behalf. All right, we'll after this we'll get a couple more things as we tell you all the craziness that has happened around Texas Tech football today. That's next.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. And when it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. With the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. No reputable company or government agency will ever ask you to pay them with gift cards, Bitcoin, or a person-to-person payment app. Scammers use these options because the money can't be traced. Just don't do it.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco, one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information.
Hey, Lee Ridley Copier Dog here. Ready for an upgrade on a brand new Kia Sierra copier? Call CTWP. We'll find the perfect fit for your business. Stay local. Call CTWP before you sign. CTWP, your local copier company.
At Schmaltz Sandwich Shop, we don't just make sandwiches, we build them with fresh ingredients, bold flavors, and homemade baked bread every single day. Toasty on the outside, goodness on the inside. Schmaltz Sandwich Shop in Waco is locally owned and operated since 1975 with 2 locations in Waco, Town West off Valley Mills and downtown off 5th Street. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or just a craving, we got the perfect bite waiting for you.
Do you suffer from low sports enthusiasm? Have you just not been able to get into the game? Maybe your balls are just feeling deflated. Well, get back to your old self and enjoy the game again. The friendly bartenders at Dancing Bear want you to know that you're not alone, and they can help. With dozens of craft beers rotating every week, pints of beer at Dancing Bear Pub have proven to reduce symptoms of low sports enthusiasm. Side effects include good times, good vibes, and new friends. Do not visit Dancing Bear Pub without consulting 4 or 5 of your closest buddies.
Celebrate America's 250th with Marineland Boating Center. We have Yamaha boats and wave runners in stock and ready for summer fun with great prices, easy financing, and expert service to get you on the water. Join us during the week of July 4th featuring special savings on Yamaha boats and wave runners, giveaways, and family-friendly fun. Visit Marineland Boating Center, your authorized Yamaha dealer at I-35 and Loop 340 in Waco, or online at MarinelandWacoYamaha.com.
All right, it's Mosley, and it is time for the landing. Look at there, Brazos Landing. What a day for it, too. At least in my studio here, or out my studio window, it's a little overcast, low 80s, nice breeze, not your typical mid-June day. And it's a day to go out. And today's Monday. I'd say wait till tomorrow, since Brazos Landing, Monday's the only day it's closed. So wait till tomorrow, and then just go out there and just get right there on the river. And either they have 2 different decks that are right there on the water if you want to be outside. If you prefer inside, that New Orleans, that Bourbon Street bar, just a beautiful bar. They just the Lindsay's just doing an amazing job, and we're so proud of our partnership with the Brazos Landing. Oh man, it's a great place, and we appreciate everything they do. I did want to tell you if we ever want to really like get our numbers up, whether it be on social media, different places, all we got to do is just go out there and then stonewall somebody, just get in goal and then turn everybody away. And no, I'm not talking about the Stanley Cup. I'm not talking about the Hurricanes goalie last night, just kind of turning the netminder as he just turned everybody away. Let's by the way, I think about that. Z, I had Cam on. I never even brought it up, but the Hurricanes did get big win last night over the Golden Knights. They got up 2-0 and they just sat on them. Well, something happened today that is just shocking. Cape Verde, a little island off South America, I believe. They tied Spain 0-0. One of the most unbelievable results in the history of the World Cup. Z, I was going to let you know, Cape Verde's goalkeeper, Vazina, he's 40 years old. Apparently the man is incredible, and he turned everything away today. Going into this, Z, he had 50,000 followers on Instagram. All right, not bad for a guy from just little old Cape Verde, just kind of hanging out. Hey guys, I'm the goalkeeper, and this is a big moment for our country. We'll probably, get blown off the field, but I'm happy to be here between the pipes. Is that what they call it? Z, he's gone from 50,000 followers He now has over 1.6 million followers. He is the man of the match. He is none other than Vozina. He's big time, and we wish him the best. It said, Barstool, I don't know if this is true or not. It says Cape Verde recruited their starting center back with a LinkedIn message. Took a year for him to respond because he thought it was spam. By the way, Z, we've lost your sound again. We've lost your sound. It's
What about now?
Yeah, good. You're good. You're back.
Okay.
You're back. So you like that one, Z?
I did like that one.
Oh, by the way, Governor Cox, this is the official account of the Utah governor, Governor Cox. He in that letter he sent to Big 12 leadership. We got all kinds of letters being sent. Love a good letter. This is for every athlete who competes with integrity, he says. Today, Attorney General Brown and I sent a letter to Big 12 leadership regarding the conference's authority to enforce its rules and preserve fair competition. I mean, we don't care about the fact that, like, we now have college quarterbacks making $5 million. We got people who've got 2A contracts in the NBA. We got people who are total pros in the Euro leagues that are like 25 years old. We've made a mockery of what college basketball and college football is supposed to be about. But this gambling thing has just brought everybody back together. Oh my gosh. He bet on his own games. All right. I mean, yeah.
Oh, I just saw this, and we talked about it a little bit. And if you already covered it, but just one more thing that I saw from the Big 12's like ruling today, or their argument, I guess, was that they said in their filing that Texas Tech participated in and supported the conference board's unanimous vote, like to sanction like Baylor when it happened. They're basically saying that like the last time something came up, Texas Tech voted to stay with us. So why are they not voting? You know, like why are they going against it now? But they brought that up in their filing or in the
right there
thing today. Yeah.
I like that. There was one guy in the media bringing up the other day the 2017 sanctions against Baylor. I was tweeting about it, talking about it, and now America is talking about it, and they're using it, as you said. That's a good point, Z. I did see that, and it's being used against Tech. Hey, you were right there sanctioning the Bears. Now that you're the ones that are about to violate NCAA bylaws and Big 12 bylaws, you're like, no, not us. This shouldn't happen to us. And again, this is all been framed behind the veil of mental, helping out mental awareness. And by the way, that's all very important. You know, when you hear people say, well, I'm working on my mentals, or I'm working on this or that, we don't make fun of that. I mean, that's extremely important, all of that. And mental health is a real thing. It just seemed like this was a extremely convenient time to couch this as a mental health case or a mental health. Like, does he have an addiction? Apparently so. Did he go get help for it? Yes, he did. Can gambling affect your mental health? Absolutely. I think it can. But it really seemed like Texas Tech raced to turn this into a mental health situation and basically say that the mean old NCAA is not doing what it professes to do, which is protect the student athlete. Meanwhile, though, to protect the integrity of the game itself. It's been on the books for many, many years. Hey, by the way, you can't go bet. You can't really gamble, period, but you can't bet on your own team. And I think it's also smart what they did is trying to say that when all this was put together, these bylaws, it was before FanDuel, and there were a million ways to do this. And it was done in a non-social media world where now more than ever it is easy. And there was a time, even recently, where there was an NCAA recommendation to relax some of these gambling, some of these sort of arcane or archaic, whatever you want to say, laws that were maybe stronger than needed to be in the current climate of how all this was. And again, just a reminder, guess who was saying, no, I don't want to relax the gambling laws? That's right. Texas Tech. Texas Tech was right out there doing that. Now, again, I'm not one of these outrage people who thinks that Brendan Sorsby has done some kind of awful. Some people, the way they've acted is like he really did do some kind of heinous act. In the whole scheme of things, it's not, whatever he did, especially the fact he wasn't playing in the games, it's not the greatest, most heinous act ever in the history of college athletics. It's not. But I mean, I guess if it's done anything, it's sort of galvanized all of college athletics to sort of come together against Texas Tech and against this guy. So we'll see what comes of it. Z-Man, thank you, buddy. Always love working with you. I think we get to do it a couple more days. Apparently, it takes like 3 days to take a pup down the street to somebody. Yeah.
Can I throw two things in there real quick? Just one that I didn't get to in Campus Confidential for those paying attention to the College World Series. Texas is up 7-2 in the bottom of the fifth of an elimination game against Alabama. So it looks like the Longhorns, I mean, granted, there's still baseball to be played, but they have a 5-run lead right now there. Both teams have a loss, so the loser would be headed home. And just another tidbit that I wanted to add, you brought up that the Hurricanes won their second Stanley Cup title in not too long. The owner of the Hurricanes is now the owner of the Portland Trail Blazers. So expect maybe the Trailblazers to start. They've already started cutting things because they're not bringing Tiago Splitter back. He was just hired as the Bulls head coach. So expect there to be a lot of changes there as he tries to make that team be competitive in the West. So I just found that very interesting to see how that works out basketball-wise. But that's all I got there.
I think that guy's name is Tom. I mean, I bet he wouldn't even pay for like a celebration for the Stanley Cup final. Tom Dundon or something?
Yeah.
D-U-N-D-O-N. Guess where he's from? Dallas, Texas.
Ah, there we go.
I think he may still live here. But yeah, all the great ones right here.
Dundon.
Clark Hunt, the Lamar Hunt family. All right. They win a lot of things. They win a lot of titles. They're in Kansas City. Live right here in Dallas. What'd you say?
Dundon. D-U-N-D-O-N. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Good work today. Put this one right up there, man. Just send this to wherever you send the award-winning shows. All right. They'll gather, they'll vote, and I think we may win something. All right. We may get some bonus points. Thanks to everybody who's been a part of this. It is the Mosley Show. We have to say goodbye. It's a sad thing, but it happens sometimes. Oh, tomorrow, Z-Man, the new Baylor golf coach is going to be on with us. Coach Hebert. I'm kind of excited about this. I think he's kind of an inspired hire. I'm very much looking forward to visiting with him and hearing from him. Coach Hebert joins the Mosley Show tomorrow. Z-Man at 2:00 straight up tomorrow. I just confirmed that. So we'll look forward to that. Everybody, thanks for being a part of the Mosley Show. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bumblebee Blinds of Waco and Temple is your one-stop shop for custom window treatment, transforming your vision into reality. Choose from a selection of shades, blinds, shutters, and curtains. Bumblebee Blinds stands behind our service and products, ensuring peace of mind with our trusted warranty. Call Bumblebee Blinds today to schedule your design consultation. Bumblebee Blinds, simplifying window treatments one covering at a time. BumblebeeBlinds.com.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. When it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. But with the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. Don't buy from social media ads unless the ad is from a verified company. When you click those ads, you open yourself up to fraud. If it seems too good to be true, it almost always is.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.